I love this fudge because it's so easy and fast to make. It's still one of my personal favorite recipes. You love chocolate? I've got you covered. This dessert is so delicious that when you find out it's secretly healthy, you're gonna be like, what the fudge? Let's get to it. Today we're making secretly healthy chocolate fudge. Out of all the recipes that are on my blog, one of the ones that I actually make for myself still years after I've posted it is the secretly healthy chocolate fudge. And it has a secret ingredient in it, as many of my recipes do. The secret ingredient this time is overripe banana. You might be surprised to know there are bananas in here, but trust me, it's going to taste delicious. So the first step is to peel the bananas. You want super overripe bananas because they just really bring out the natural sweetness. If you've ever made a banana dessert and it tastes a little earthy, that's because the bananas weren't ripe enough. So you want to make sure that they're really ripe. These are good for cereal, slicing them up, but for baked goods, I like them to be much more brown than this because when they're brown, that means that they're much sweeter. I know they might not look like the most appetizing thing you've ever seen in your life, but trust me, these are the ones you want to use. And we're going to pop these in the food processor. This is the most important part, the chocolate. There's a half a cup of cocoa powder here. And now I'm just going to do a 1/4 cup of pure maple syrup. If you want it to be added sugar-free, you could use stevia instead. But I like pure maple syrup in this, so I'm gonna use that. There's no refined sugar in this recipe. It's mostly sweetened by the bananas. A lot of readers have been asking me for more refined sugar-free recipes, so I really like to use maple syrup to give them an alternative to recipes with granulated sugar. Pure maple syrup is not the same thing as pancake syrup. They're not interchangeable in many recipes. When I started my blog, it wasn't initially meant to be a food blog. It was just started as a way to keep up with friends. I started writing about food because food is really important to me. Food is a big part of my life. So if I'm writing about life, I'm writing about food. When I was little, I liked to scrapbook. So this is kind of like an online scrapbook. I take pictures of my recipes, post them online, but it was never meant to be a career. I was just doing this because I liked it. It was fun. And then suddenly Pinterest happened, social media happened, and traffic went crazy. And all of a sudden I started thinking, hey, maybe I could do what I love for a living. And now it's just turned into something crazy. And now we're gonna use one of my favorite ingredients. This is gonna make up the base of the recipe. This is coconut butter. People ask me often if they can substitute coconut oil for coconut butter, and my answer is that I would not do that for best results. If you think of peanut butter and peanut oil, you wouldn't want to substitute peanut butter for peanut oil or peanut oil for peanut butter. Like try to make peanut butter cookies with peanut oil, it wouldn't go so well. The same thing is true for coconut butter and coconut oil. And here in this fudge, it just makes the fudge so buttery. You don't use any butter, you don't use any shortening. Coconut butter is an ingredient that I never would have thought to try. It didn't have chocolate in it, so I was not too excited about it. But when I tasted it, it tastes like shortbread. I was eating it by the spoon. I was eating spoonful after spoonful after spoonful of this coconut butter. Coconut butter is one of my absolute favorite ingredients. Ugh, coconut butter is just so delicious. Sometimes coconut butter can be hard to find. If you're having trouble finding it, you can go to the store, buy a bag of shredded coconut, and make your own. Put it in a food processor or a high-speed blender, and you just blend it up until it turns into smooth and creamy coconut butter. Sometimes it takes a while, but the results are worth the wait. Now we're just gonna add a little bit of salt. It brings out the sweetness. You don't add very much. And you can also add a little bit of vanilla extract if you want. Gives it a little extra flavor boost. In chocolate recipes especially, chocolate and vanilla just go hand in hand. And you just want to use a little bit of pure vanilla extract to really bring out that chocolate flavor. I am a workaholic because I'm passionate about my job and it's my business. It's like my baby. I don't sleep very much because I can't wait to get up and do all of the things that I want to do, learn all of the things that I want to learn. I want to learn everything. There's just not enough time in the day to do everything that I want to do. I'm not a proficient computer coder. There's so much more to baking that I want to learn. It took me 5 years to learn how to use one small camera, and I can't say that it was an overnight process. I can't say that it was even a 1-month process. I'm still learning, but I've gotten to a point where the photos do look the way that I want them to, and I do come out of photo shoots excited about the photos that I've just taken, and I can't wait to get them onto the computer and look at them. I face challenges every day with the blog. The challenges are what makes life interesting, and I love that. I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm gonna add a pinch of cinnamon. Just sprinkle it in there, no need to measure. Now we get to blend it all together. Here we go. I love this fudge because it's so easy and fast to make. You just throw everything into the food processor and put it in the freezer and you're ready to go. All right, let's see how this looks. Still got some pieces in there. I'm gonna use a spatula, scrape down the sides. The food processor is definitely my most used kitchen gadget. I use it for fudge recipes. I used it to blend up brownie batters, pancake batters, chocolate chip cookie dough dip batters. I use the food processor pretty much every day. Sometimes I don't even bother to put it away because I'm just gonna bring it out again. Just a few more scrapes down, this is looking good. Just needs a little more time in the food processor. Let's turn it back on. Running this blog has definitely made me a stronger and more secure person. I used to take criticism to heart. Every tiny little criticism about my appearance, about my blog, about my recipes. Now I've learned to embrace constructive criticism while just tuning out the criticism that is really just someone who wants to vent on the internet. My friends think it's really funny that there are people who bother at all to write negative comments on a food blog. Like, who has time for that? I'm my own harshest critic. I am a perfectionist, so when I make a mistake, I tend to dwell on it and think, oh, what if I had done this differently? But I have learned to be better about it and to realize that you can't stress about the things that you can't change. And if there's something that you can change, instead of stressing about it, go change it. If it's late at night and the blog crashes, I can't go to bed. I can't just say, oh, my boss will take care of it, because I am the boss. And I'm not complaining about that. Most of owning your own business is so much fun. I love setting my own hours. I do work long hours, but at the same time, I can work ahead, I can schedule posts ahead of time, and so I'm always available when I want to be, but usually I'm blogging. My biggest goal with the blog is just to continue to have fun with it. I don't have any concrete goals like I want to be here in 5 years, I want to be here in 10 years. I'm having fun now, and that's what matters. All right, I think this is done. Oh, it looks nice and smooth now. So now I'm gonna take this off the food processor, and I'm gonna bring it over here to my 8x8 pan lined with parchment paper. Oh, how amazing does this look? Now I'm gonna smooth the batter into the sides. You just want it to look even and smooth here. Just spread it out. And now it looks like I have chocolate everywhere. It's on the counter, it's on my fingers, it's probably in my hair. That's why I'm called Chocolate Covered Katie. The name Chocolate Covered Katie, it's something that people will always remember when you tell them. It's not something easily forgettable, which is a great thing about it. We're gonna pop this in the freezer just to chill it, and then we're gonna cut it into fudge. All right, now that this fudge is chilled and set, it's time to cut it. Unless you wanna just eat one giant piece of fudge. I wouldn't judge you if you did. But here, let's cut this. You can cut squares, you can cut bars. There's no wrong way to eat chocolate. If it starts to get too soft as you're cutting it, just chill it again. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. I can't wait to take a bite.